When looking for a more natural treatment to promote better health, one modality to consider might be aromatherapy, or what is also known as essential oil therapy. What is that? Well, it's a holistic healing treatment using natural plant extracts to promote better health and well-being. But there's a lot to consider when it comes to essential oils. Do I use the actual oil or should I diffuse it? Do I apply the oil directly to my skin or should I dilute it with a carrier oil? What if I have pets? Are there things I need to consider for their safety? And what oil in the world do I use? So there's a lot to consider. So on today's episode of Your Best Life, we're going to speak with someone who specializes in essential oils. And we're going to learn how she uses these oils to incorporate them into different areas for better health. Stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of Your Best Life. I'm your host and healthy living correspondent, Beth Schomp. In today's world, where more and more people are turning to more natural alternatives to promote better health, essential oils is growing in popularity. But believe it or not, essential oils really go back thousands of years, back to the 10th century. And even back then, essential oils were used for both medicinal and religious reasons. And it's because back then they could tell there were benefits both physically and psychologically. Now there are over 90 different essential oils. And so what we've done today is we're bringing someone in who uses essential oils in her everyday life. And she's going to help us navigate through this beautiful world of possibilities when it comes to essential oils. So I want to thank you for coming, Jessica Combs. Jessica Combs is with the Market Spa. And Jessica, I'm going to let you kind of tell your story and introduce yourself to the group.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Jess. I am the owner of the Market Spa. I am an esthetician, massage therapist, and herbalist, and I use essential oils in my products, but also in my room every single day with my clients. So they're a huge part of my daily life.
Yes, they are. I've been there, so I've seen you in action. So let's kind of start right in the very beginning. What are essential oils and where do they come from?
Yeah, so essential oils are pretty much the concentrated extracts of plants. So they are either going to be distilled or cold pressed. Distilled just means they use steam to break the plant down, and that extracts the oils. But they're really the powerful parts of the plants. They're the chemical constituents in the plants being pulled out so that you can use them portably and you can use them anywhere that you need them.
Yeah, okay. But what are the benefits of essential oils? I mean, why would someone turn to essential oils to incorporate into their everyday life or maybe a specific circumstance?
Yeah, so essential oils have a ton of benefits. The benefits can either be through aromatherapy, and we'll talk about how we use them too, but aromatherapy, they can be used topically or they can even be ingested. And a lot of the plants that have those powers, depending on what the plant can do, that's what the essential oil can do. So things like lavender and chamomile are extremely calming and soothing. Those are going to help more with sleep and stress reduction. Things like citrus oils are going to be much more uplifting, much more energizing. So you have your mood benefits there. You also have benefits in the body like anti-inflammatory benefits, antifungal and antibacterial benefits. So it's really about whatever the plant could do, that's what the essential oil can do for you.
We'll come back and revisit that in a little bit more specific in regards to what certain oils can do different things.
Yeah.
But first, are there any particular downsides to using an essential oil? Something that we need to be aware of?
Yeah, the biggest downside to getting into essential oils is actually the amount of misinformation that's out in the industry. So the main point that you have to do when you're working with essential oils is research. You have to know what you're using, how to use it. Some oils have to be mixed with a carrier because they're just that strong, and you don't want to put them directly on your skin or on your body. Some oils can't be used outside in the sunlight. Some oils can't be used for certain people at certain times, like pregnancy, even oncology. Sometimes aromatherapy really does mess with or change our nervous system. So any type of condition where nervous system or circulation changes can be a problem. Those are ones that you want to know what the oils are actually doing for you, because they're extremely powerful. So with a lot of misinformation and a lot of false advertising out there, people are using these really powerful remedies either incorrectly or just not when they're supposed to be, things like that. So it's really about doing the research. The essential oils themselves are so beneficial and so useful to absolutely everybody. You just have to know when, how, and why first.
So you mentioned research. Is there a particular book or resource or a direction that somebody would go in if they wanted to do the research? Where would they turn?
Yes, most definitely. So I just like the good old-fashioned Google research, but you want to make sure that the sites that you're looking for are usually not the sites that are selling them, surprisingly. Sometimes you'll find really reputable brands that have their research linkable right there, or they'll tell you exactly what's in it, things like that. So sometimes you can trust the brands that are selling them, but most of the time I find the most useful information on medical websites. So I like the NIH.gov website. I like Healthline is a really good one too. Those will actually link studies alongside just generic essential oils. They're not trying to sell or push a specific one, so you can kind of trust what they've got there. But there are a couple brands that you can really trust when it comes to purchasing and knowing that the reps know what they're talking about and things like that. So it's just about, research.
Sure, absolutely. Well, and part of that research, if you do your due diligence and you research, you learn that you don't want to purchase oils like from Target or from Amazon that might have water or synthetics and different things.
Who knows what? Yep.
Well, that leads us to the next question is, do you have to spend a lot of money? Do you need to buy expensive oils to know that it's good?
Not necessarily. No, you just have to know that the brand that you're working with is reputable. You go with their research, their information, you go with their reviews also. There are certain oils that just because the plant matter is so rare and expensive, the oil itself is going to be extremely rare and expensive. So there are certain ones, and you'll learn that through research too. Just for instance, the pure Bulgarian rose takes 7,000 pounds of those rose petals to make 2 pounds of oil. So it can go up to like almost $2,000 an ounce for that oil. If you find pure Bulgarian rose that isn't that price, then you have to do a little more research on that one.
Right.
So the research really helps you to know that you're getting what you're paying for, and you really do get what you pay for. If it's an expensive oil, find out if there's a reason why, other than just the name on the bottle. If it's a very cheap oil, find out why, find out what they're mixing into it, because oils are not cheap. It takes a lot of plant matter to make the oils, but you don't have to go with specific brands or whatever's trendy at the moment, nothing like that. You just have to go with what's reputable and the brands that care about what they're putting out there. So
I know I'm going to get asked this question. What are some of the brands that you prefer?
Yeah, so my favorite brand by all means is Melaleuca, and that's thanks to you. I absolutely love the fact that I can track the essential oils. I know exactly what's in every single bottle. And for my bulk purchases, when I need the big amounts of essential oils, I go through Bulk Apothecary. It's one of my favorite. You can actually track the fields that their oils are coming from. So that's really cool too.
That is great. That's great. In the world of consumer direct, where you can go right to the company as opposed to going through a distributor, and nothing against that, but that just drives the price up, and it doesn't
Yes.
make oil work any better. So that is something to consider, right? So what are some of the different ways? Let's go back to that original question about benefits. So let's start looking at particular oils and why somebody might use or how they use these oils to benefit their health.
Yeah. So there's usually 3 different ways. Some people might have some more tricky ways to do it, but usually 3 different ways to use essentials. The most prevalent is going to be aromatherapy. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows about the diffusers. You add some water, and with the steam comes out the aromatherapy. Aromatherapy is good when it comes to the mood or neurological benefits of the essential oils. Aromatherapy really does either heighten or suppress our nervous system. It can induce sleep. It can wake us up. It can do all those things just by inhaling, pretty much. Our olfactory system is extremely strong, extremely smart, and it helps us, just like the smell of coffee helps us wake up in the morning. It helps our brain reset itself. So that's when we're inhaling. Another way to use it is topically. And that's where we have to be a little bit more diligent on our research. Aromatherapy too, certain ones like cinnamon, clove, you don't want to use those aromatherapy-wise when you're pregnant because they'll actually speed up uterine contractions.
Oh my goodness,
so
I never knew
even
that.
Aromatherapy-wise, it can still affect the rest of the body, but topically especially, because a lot of essential oils are very potent, extremely strong, and some of them can actually cause chemical burns on the skin, depending on how sensitive you are, where you're using it on your body. We have different types of skin on our body, depending on what we're looking at. So it just depends on where you're using it, what type of oil it is. But for topical reasons, you would use it for like wound care, for anti-infection, antibacterial, viral kind of things.
Fungicidal.
Yep, you would use it for any type of fungal infection. I really like using tea tree oil. You can use it topically if you know your skin well enough. Right. Some people do have very sensitive skin, and then you just want to mix it with a carrier oil. Carrier oils are going to be those mild oils, whatever you know your skin loves.
Like coconut oil or almond oil, something.
Exactly, yep. And you can do like grapeseed oil if you're prone to breaking out. Grapeseed oil is really gentle. If you have really dry skin, you can use olive oil. So you find your oil that you love, and then you can mix your essentials in with the carrier oils in order to use them topically if you're more sensitive or if they're stronger in their benefits. And then the third way is actually ingesting. So there's a lot of research about the benefits of actually ingesting essential oils. It's a huge thing in Ayurveda, which is ancient Indian medicine, where they will actually match the doshas to different ailments in the body, and then they'll use the opposite doshas to help fix those. So for like heartburn, peppermint is one of the most amazing remedies for heartburn and indigestion issues, and peppermint will actually go in and help cool the entire area. So peppermint tea with a drop or two of a peppermint essential oil. But again, that's where research comes in, because you have to make sure that there are no, we call them contraindications in the industry. It just means things that may interfere with either a condition or a medication or something like that that you're already taking.
Right.
So you just have to do your research, but you can inhale them, you can ingest them, and you can use them topically.
So some different ways that I have used essential oils is, of course, I love the diffuser, and just it really sets the mood, in your room. In fact, interesting enough, I was just out of town this past week in Salt Lake City, and my daughter was with me, and every time we walked over into the area where the elevators are, it was just like, what is that scent? What is that scent? And you could tell they had a diffuser going, but it was something that just made us go, oh. But lavender oil, as an example, I love to put that on the balls of my feet. Yes, Dad, because it's so relaxing. But that I found just putting it right there, it's made such a big difference.
Yes,
I've known people that will take the peppermint oil, and you talked about ingesting, but they actually, if they're nauseous, if they've got indigestion, they will apply it with a carrier oil topically to their skin.
Yes.
For me, frankincense. Oh, I love frankincense. Not necessarily the scent of it so much, but what it does.
Yes.
It's so good for our immune system and fighting that. So I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I've been in remission for years. But when it was flaring, I would apply, right here in these areas where we're inflamed, and it really helps. So there's all kinds of different ways. My daughter would use tea tree oil because she was prone to toe fungus with her nails.
Yes.
Fungus.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And so much safer than what you can buy over the counter for that.
Absolutely.
Too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So once you kind of start going into that world, you realize it's not a standalone, this is all I'm ever going to do for my life and health and well-being, but it's certainly a wonderful modality to incorporate, into our world. So my last question for you is, of all the essential oils that you work with, what's your favorite?
So I have two favorites that I use every single day. The number one is the Light and Stress oil from Melaleuca.
It's a blend, right?
It is. It is a blend of just crazy amount of essentials, but there are citruses, there's 2 different types of mint in there. There's bergamot, there's cedar wood. I use it in my spa every single day because it has this balance to where it has the citruses. People don't get too sleepy or drowsy, but it has all of the other suppressants in there that are just like, so it makes my room the most amazing, just mood altering type situation. When you walk in that room, you can check out of the world and it doesn't hit you again until you walk back out. So that one's awesome. My absolute favorite to use daily. And then actually in my towel cabbie, I have been using just Melaleuca oil, tea tree oil. That's where we get tea tree, is from the Melaleuca plant. I have actually been putting that on a cotton pad and putting it into my towel warmer cabbie. So that way it actually kind of gets the aroma on all the towels without putting the tea tree actually on the towel. And I use those during my facials because they have the most amazing benefits when I'm removing cleanser, when I'm removing masks. It has that antibacterial benefit, but it also just smells so clean.
Yes.
And so earthly clean. Like it is just, it makes my facials just feel clean and feel bright and shiny when you get up from the table. So I do. Those are my 2 favorites. I use them every single day.
That's fantastic. And you bring up a good point. Like with the Lighten, it's a lot of times people don't realize when it comes to essential oils, you have your pure oils, but you also have blends, and that opens up the door to all kinds of additional.
Oh goodness. Yep. A whole really rabbit hole.
Well, I know we've just scratched the surface with all of this. And I also know there are going to be people that are going to want to reach out to you directly because you obviously know your craft. So if someone wants to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to reach you, Jess?
Yeah, so the best way is to find me either through Google or social media. It's at The Market Spa. You can Google that, just write in the search box, The Market Spa, or you can call or text me. I also have my website is at themarketspa.com.
Okay, awesome, great. And so thank you everyone for watching. It has been so much fun. I love this subject of essential oils. But if you have any other questions that, of course, you can reach out to Jessica. But if you have any questions that you would like from me, you can reach me directly at yourbestlife9@gmail.com. Now, be sure you like this video and please subscribe to the channel. And in fact, why not tell a friend or 2 about our channel as well? Until next time, be happy and be healthy.